There are plenty of reasons to be optimistic in the second half after yesterday's 10-4 win, like the 7-run offensive outburst in the first inning, or Lester's quality start and his big day at the plate. But nothing more exciting than a game-ending double play from El Mago. How about a little brunch at Wrigley? Settle in for Sunday Sweepstakes on ABC 7.
Right now from ABC 7 Chicago. This is Chicago Cubs baseball on ABC 7.
An all-star day on the north side, but make no mistake, the heat is on, and the Cubs are doing their part to keep it hot. Back-to-back wins over the Buccos, setting them up for a series sweep. It's the Pirates and Cubs coming up next on ABC 7. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Cubs Baseball. I am your hostess, Deon Miller. After the Cubs' bumpy road into the All-Star break, John Lester was the first to say, "No one in our clubhouse is panicked. We know who we are and what we can do." Well, yesterday's victory started with him, an ace on the hill, a power hitter at the plate, part of an offensive explosion that this team hopes to maintain throughout the second half. We bring in Len and JD, and guys, we know setting the tone in the second half of the season starts on the mound, but I think Jose Quintana would be the first to raise his hand and ask for more early run support like what they got yesterday.
He would love his first extra base hit, something John Lester provided with a home run yesterday. Yeah, it's a great first inning for the Cubs. They hadn't scored 7 in the opening inning in 10 years.
Yeah, a good bit of a redemption for the Cubs. You remember the Pirates beat them 18-5 in that series in Pittsburgh before the break. They jumped all over the starter Jordan Lyles yesterday. Lyles lasting just 2/3 of an inning. It was a combination of things. Good patient work at the plate, a couple of walks, a little nudge by Rizzo, proving you don't have to hit it hard. Contreras proves that you do have value in hitting it hard sometimes as he hits the 3-run homer. John Lester contributes, banging this ball off the wall, plating 2 of his 3 RBIs in that first inning.
Javi Baez coming through as well. And really it was all she wrote at that point, but still one of the best plays we've seen defensively to end the ball game.
Yeah, it was lacking drama because the outcome was pretty much decided, but a spectacular play as Baez goes Superman to snag it. The glove flip to Russell. Watch the concentration here by Addy as he watches this ball into his hand, and then Rizzo with the pick on the other end. Sweet Georgia Brown as the Globetrotters get it done to finish the ball game.
So the Cubs do go for the 3-game sweep. Today's starting pitching matchup brought to you by Goodwill. Find something amazing only at Goodwill, celebrating the power of work since 1919. Visit amazing.com for store locations.
Trevor Williams has not made a start since July 1st. We'll see how sharp he is here today. His last 4 starts against the Cubs. He has split those 4 games with a 3.80 ERA. Quintana's been good against the Pirates in his career. He has a 1.80 ERA over his last 5 starts against the Buccos, and you see the work he's done so far this year. 2 starts, 2 very good starts.
Now JD's Subaru Keys to the Game, presented by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Well, right on cue, we'll continue with Quintana. The Cubs won 3 games on their last road trip. He won 2 of them. You saw the good numbers he has put up against the Pirates, and the Pirates near the bottom of the league in terms of their offensive numbers against left-handed pitching. Leading man Kyle Schwarber on base 4 times yesterday, has very good numbers against the starter Williams here today. And can you spoil the Starling Marte's got an 8-game hitting streak against the Cubs. He's batting .351 against them, and he's hit 3 home runs already in this series.
And Deanna, as we send it back to you, you mentioned the heat right off the top, and it is a warm day at Wrigley, but a little bit of a lake breeze, so a bit more comfortable this afternoon.
Dare I say pleasant at the moment, guys. Looking forward to the call. Joe Maddon has made it clear to his team he wants them to do simple better, clean things up in the second half, and so far so good. But they need to maintain this winning way as they continue through this weekend, because the rest of this division not going away. We will take a look at the NL Central standings when we come back.
All right, Johnny, it's the knockout challenge. You're representing the Angels. Let's see how many teams in the division you can knock out See if the Angels can be the team left standing.
How would I knock them all out? With one ball.
You can't. You get
It's called
4
a
tries.
7-10 split.
And that's it.
Get my grip going.
Oh, you're righty. Okay.
Ah!
Man.
Now we're going for the Athletics. You know what?
Now you're into the A's.
I actually missed Houston on purpose because they're doing so well in the division. Good luck catching them in the first place.
Okay. All right.
Bro, sit down, Oakland.
Now you got to back it up. Rangers.
Sit down, Oakland.
Nice wind up.
Ah!
Oh, man. Maybe you should start throwing with your left hand. You get one more chance. Got to knock down the Mariners. Let's see if you can do it. Rangers and Astros so far
I
have
think you know what it was?
eluded you.
I put a little too much cut on that one. Take a little gas off this one.
Oh, he does
I
it. He
almost
got
got
the
the Rangers with that
Mariners.
one, too.
Get down.
Want to get paid faster? Send an invoice with QuickBooks.
You invoiced me?
I accept credit, debit, bank transfer.
One beard, one blade, in one go. One blade is all you need. Shape or shave any length. Be your best you. Innovation and you. Phillips Norelco.
Get down.
One beard, one blade, in one go. One blade is all you need. Shape or shave any length. Be your best you. Innovation and you. Phillips Norelco.
The average insurer thinks businesses are alike, but Hiscox knows each business is as unique as a fingerprint.
Cubs baseball on ABC 7 is being brought to you by Insure on the Spot. For quality insurance you can afford, head to insureonthespot.com. By Lakeside Bank, all the technology you expect, plus your own personal banker. Join Lakeside Bank, it's about time. Your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers, as reliable as the cars themselves.
It's officially the second half of the season, so we are officially allowed to check the standings more often right now. Cubs with that 1.5 game lead over the Brewers in the NL Central. Tightest division race in baseball and likely to remain that way. Yesterday, the Cardinals, Brewers, and the Reds all with victories. Cincinnati set to come into town tomorrow. The Cubs do have that narrow lead, though, thanks to winning 4 of their last 5 games, but they know they need to continue to beat up on their toughest competition. That's why they'd like to complete this sweep and then carry it over when Cincinnati comes to town. And they will be coming feeling good about themselves. Last night in Denver, check it out, the Reds and the Rockies. Cincinnati really feeling it in the Mile High City. Big night for Phillip Ervin, a franchise tying 6 for 6 as the Reds win 17-9 in a slugfest, combined for 5 triples and 3 home runs in that victory. Next up, Milwaukee, as the Brewers come back against the Giants for the walk-off win.
The line down the right field line. This one is going to win the game. Ben Gamble has knocked in Ryan Braun with a scorcher to the right field corner.
Let's take a look at the Comcast Business of Baseball. Take your business beyond at ComcastBusiness.com. Andrew Kashner traded to the Red Sox yesterday. The Nationals, pretty hot right now, 12-2 in their last 14 games in the NL East. While the Detroit Tigers, yikes, 6-27 since June 1st. I have a feeling they might be active as the trade deadline quickly approaches. Question is, will the Cubs be active with the trade deadline approaching? Joe Maddon weighs in on his wish list. Maybe he'll sign that cute little fella. It's all coming up next.
Get down.
One mustache, one blade, in one go. One blade is all you need. Shape or shave any length. Be your best you. Innovation and you. Phillips Norelco.
The average insurer thinks businesses are alike, but Hiscox knows each business is as unique as a fingerprint and tailors its policies to each small business's very specific needs. Hiscox, business insurance experts.
Lowe's knows you do an update right and save the best for last. We do it right too with the latest Samsung Family Hub refrigerator featuring Family Board, so what you bring home brings home together. Shop now for appliance savings like these. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
In baseball, every move matters. Each action, each player impacts the next. This season, when there is a stolen base opportunity, StatCast AI powered by AWS will calculate and analyze thousands of data points per second in real time to predict the probability of a successful stolen base.
Throw to second, not in time, he's safe!
See how AI technology will give you new insights into the game. In 5 days, it is time. The world can't wait. Disney's The Lion King, rated PG.
One more time.
Oh, no, I think we did it.
we got this one.
Let's leave them wanting more.
Get tickets now.
How do you win over fans? You give them something they love. Something no one else can. Something they can't get enough of. And then you give them more. Hurry in to see why Ram has the most loyal half-ton pickup owners during the Ram Summer Clearance event.
Get down. Chicago Cubs baseball on ABC 7.
Picture perfect skies, and we're playing in the water on a bright and warm day here in July as the Cubs wrap this series with Pittsburgh. Joe Maddon is confident that fans will see more of this better brand of Cubs baseball in the second half. But with the league's one and only trade deadline fast approaching on July 31st, Maddon says conversations are consistent about what's still missing on his first place team.
We keep talking about it. We have to become a little bit more offensive in the right moments. I'm certain, I would believe that we're looking in that particular area. I think our starting pitching's in good shape. I think our bullpen's in good shape. Overall, if you could just maybe add that element where one more consistent bat and they're a real pro at bat. Like we're missing Zobrist. I mean, that's a perfect guy, but he's not here anytime soon. So Zoe fits into what we're doing so well.
One thing the Cubs do very well is win at home. Today, they are going for the sweep. They've already clinched their first series win since early June. Now they want to help Q get his first home win since early May. Settle in for the fun. Len and JD have it next. It's the Pirates and Cubs on ABC 7.
Get down.
One mustache, one blade, in one go. One blade is all you need. Shape or shave any length. Be your best you. Innovation and you. Phillips Norelco.
To the average insurance company, small businesses look the same. But because Hiscox has spent decades insuring small businesses, it sees each of them as unique as a strand of DNA or a fingerprint, with their own unique needs and challenges. That's why America's #1 online business insurer tailors its policies to each small business's very specific needs and yours. Hiscox, business insurance experts.
Lowe's knows you do an update right and save the best for last. We do it right too with the latest Samsung Family Hub refrigerator featuring Family Board. So what you bring home brings home together. Shop now for appliance savings like these. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
Stay low to the ground and wait for the perfect moment to pounce.
Disney's The Lion King, rated PG, Friday.
I'm Dave Ortiz, and this is my puppy. He's a prostate cancer survivor, and I'm thankful every day that we caught it before it was too late. Every 3 minutes, another father, brother, or son is diagnosed with prostate cancer. That's why I teamed up with Roman to help raise awareness and hopefully save more lives like my dad. Talk to your doctor or visit GetRoman.com/puppy for more resources. Let's take care of it.
Get down.
One mustache, one blade, in one go. One blade is all you.
Today's HD broadcast is brought to you by Xfinity. Stay connected to your team with Xfinity, the exclusive internet provider of the Chicago Cubs. Gorgeous afternoon. Cubs go for the sweep. But before they take the field, let's go back to last night. The Atlantic League, we discussed earlier this week some of the new rules they are implementing just to see how it goes, including stealing first base. And it finally happened.
As the 0-1 pitch misses outside, Tony Thomas is going to try to steal first. There is no throw. He's aboard.
And we've seen it. Somebody has stolen first base. It is a professional baseball first, Austin.
The Southern Maryland Blue Crabs and the Lancaster Barnstormers. So Tony Thomas, now he didn't technically steal first. I guess it goes down as a fielder's choice for the catcher, but still kind of neat.
I think the catcher's choice there was to not run after the ball. I think the fix was in. I think let's make a little history here. I'm not going to go get this. You run to first.
Any ball not caught cleanly, regardless of the count, the batter has a chance to beat the throw to first base. So the Cubs start the day with a 1.5 game lead over Milwaukee. The Brewers played a wild game last night against the Giants and won it on a game-ending double by Ben Gamel in the bottom of the 9th. The Reds, that big win over the Rockies, and the Cardinals won as well. So the only team to lose yesterday was the Pittsburgh Pirates in this division after everybody but the Cubs lost on Friday.
Yeah, so 5.5 games separate top to bottom in the NL Central, and just 4 games in the loss column. This race is tick tight, Len. You couldn't slip a cigarette paper between these teams.
You had a nice long break to come up with those. I like it.
Dan Ratherisms of the day. We're good. We're going to do at least one a day until we run out.
Jose Quintana had a stretch of 9 winless starts. He has won his last 2. And let's look in on the Pirates lineup he will face this afternoon. 63 runs in July for the Pirates, leading the majors. Kevin Newman will be in the leadoff spot playing short. Brian Reynolds, the rookie right fielder, bats second. Marte with 3 homers in the series. Bell leading the majors at doubles, extra base hits, and RBIs. Jung Ho Kang homered yesterday. He'll play third base and bat 5th ahead of Corey Dickerson, who gets the start in left. Elias Diaz, the catcher, 7th. Adam Frazier, big numbers against the Cubs, including at 1.7 straight hits. And Trevor Williams, the pitcher, will hit 9th.
A look at the Cubs defensively, brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers, as reliable as the cars themselves. And Kyle Schwarber in left, where we normally find him. Jason Heyward slides from right to center. He's played Gold Glove defense out there this year. Chris Bryant finds himself in right today. That gives Bodie a start, his first start since the All-Star break. Baez Garcia up to middle. Rizzo gets first. Caratini behind the plate. Contreras dealing with a little bit of a tender foot. Jose Quintana trying to even his record. He is 6-7 with a 4.19 ERA. This is start number 18 for the veteran left-hander. League bats .269 against him. Mentioned in our pregame, he's been very good against the Pirates with a 1.80 ERA against Pittsburgh over his last 5 starts. 2 very good ones this year, including last time out on July 4th in Pittsburgh, 7 innings of 3-run ball.
Chicagoland native John Tumpane went to St. Lawrence High School in Burbank. Works the plate. Danley, Barrett, and Lentz on the bases. Ted Barrett is the chief of this crew. Quintana to Newman to get us started. And a little low on a fastball.
Quintana typically throws a high percentage of first pitch strikes.
That's a strike. It's 1-1.
Pirates have the lowest on-base percentage in Major League Baseball against left-handed pitching.
Tapper foul. Weather at first pitch brought to you by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. For all the right reasons, call 866 Four Seasons. The way we like it. Hot and a little bit of a breeze off the lake.
Yeah, really pleasant. Yesterday was smoking hot. We anticipated that again here today, but catching a break.
The 1-2 called strike 3.
No fooling around. Quintana staying with the fastball. Good chunk of home plate, bottom of the knees.
So his first start in 10 days. Now they switch hitter Reynolds, and he takes a strike. He's playing right.
Quintana trying to fall in line after Yu Darvish was very good in game 1 of this series, and John Lester likewise yesterday.
Giants and Brewers just underway. 0-0 in the first. Tyler Beede pitching for San Francisco. Yolis Chacin for the Brewers. Arizona's at St. Louis. Bottom 1-0. Greinke and Wainwright. A veteran matchup in that one. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
That matchup is just oozing moxie.
Reds and Rockies, it'll be Tyler Mahle and Antonio Senzatella in Denver. Q on a 1-2. Didn't miss by much.
Good action on that changeup.
Eighth career start for Jose against the Pirates. Full count with Marte on deck.
Back on April 11th, he pitched 7 shutout innings here against Pittsburgh. Struck out 11 in that ball game. That's his season high. That was against just 1 walk, 4 measly hits.
Bounced into center field for a base hit. You know, the Pirates, they were blown out 10-4 yesterday, but they had chances. They had 11 hits in the ballgame. Cubs did nice work to not give them any freebies. There were no walks issued by Cubs pitching.
And that's not a real shocker against this Pirate team. They mentioned their on-base percentage against lefties, but overall they're tied for the lowest walk rate in the league. These guys have a swing first mentality, including the man in the batter's box right now, Marte. So far that approach has paid off for him, certainly against the Cubs, hitting .350 something against Cub pitching this year. He's hit 4 home runs against them, all in this ballpark.
Reynolds will stay put. So the 2 homers for Marte, giving him 100 in his career. He is the second Pirate with 100 homers, 200 steals, and the 5th active player to get there. Ryan Braun, Ian Kinsler, Brett Gardner, and Jose Altuve, the others. Popped him up on the infield.
Find it.
Nobel Garcia's got it. That's out number 2, and it'll bring up Josh Bell.
This is where I'm obligated to tell you it's a tough sky today, but you already knew that. Bright sunny day. Not gusty, but certainly breezy.
Kind of like your analysis.
Exactly. Occasionally blustery. Braun and Kinsler are the only active members of the 200 club. 200 long balls, 200 steals. And Braun's a 300 guy.
Bell had 2 hits, including a double on Saturday, snapped in 0 for 13. A double, his 31st, leading the majors, and has tied his single season career best. Probably going to set career bests in just about every category this year. He pops it up. This one will get into the outfield. And Chris Bryant makes the catch. He'll hit third in the bottom of the first after the Pirates fail to score.
YouTube TV. Watch like a fan.
Get down.
One mustache, one blade, in one go. One blade is all you need. Shape or shave any length. Be your best you. Innovation and you. Phillips Norelco.
To the average insurance company, small businesses look the same. But because Hiscox has spent decades insuring small businesses, it sees each of them as unique as a strand of DNA or a fingerprint, with their own unique needs and challenges. That's why America's #1 online business insurer tailors its policies to each small business's very specific needs and yours. Hiscox, business insurance experts.
Lowe's knows you do it right by finding the best deals on paint and stain. We do it right too, with big savings on top brands like Valspar, Cabot, and HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams. The time is right at Lowe's. Get Valspar paint.
Now the Southwest Airlines Cubs lineup. Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Schwarber, Baez, and Bryant at the top. Rizzo, Caratini, and Heyward in the middle. Garcia, Bodie, and Quintana at the bottom.
Pirates defensively brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers, as reliable as the cars themselves. Dickerson, Marte, Reynolds left, center, right, Gung third, Newman, Frazier up the middle, Bell first, Diaz behind the plate. Trevor Williams will pitch number 1. Right-hander, usually very aggressive with his fastball, attacks. He's 3-2 with a .454, making his 13th start.
Foul strike, 1-1.
Spent some time on the IL with a right side strain. Fastball percentage highest in the National League among starting pitchers. He'll mix in sliders, changeups, has a curveball, but not even enough to show up on our graphic. About 0.04% of the time. So in all likelihood, it's a misidentified slider.
Two and 1 to count to Schwarber. Got on 4 times on Saturday, including a leadoff free pass in the first. And the Cubs put up a 7 spot. It's a ground ball that'll be surrounded by Frazier, and a little double clutch, but he got him.
There was a traveling violation on Frazier, took an extra step. Still able to get his man. The Pirates, in terms of the advanced metrics, do not grade out very high defensively. Frazier's been good. They're a better defensive club. Somebody other than Gung is at shortstop. He looks pretty limited range-wise.
Baez has 3 hits in 9 tries in the series. Swing and a miss. He was late on 92. 6th in the National League in wins above replacement according to Fangraphs. His teammate on deck, Chris Bryant, ranks 4th.
Bellinger, Yelich, 1-2. I'm assuming in some combination. Rizzo's probably going to go deep today.
I was thinking that earlier, but this feels like the day.
Now Williams, since 2017, has been very good. He's tied with his teammate Jameson Taillon in terms of lowest home runs per 9. This year that number is up for him. Of course, it's kind of the theme of baseball here in 2019. Those numbers probably up for everybody.
Missed the inside corner. Williams went on the paternity list just before the All-Star break for the birth of his newly adopted daughter, Josephine Marie. On July 5th, he and his wife's 2nd child. Backhanded play, Newman for the out. Now Bryant. I think Bellinger, Yelich, and Alonso might be the guys ahead of him on the WAR list.
That little slider right there. Has not been as sharp this year as he was last year. He was a 14-game winner last season with a 3.11 ERA.
Ketel Marte is third. It's Bellinger, Yelich, Marte, Bryant, Alonso, Baez. Popped up. This will be a 1-2-3 for Williams. As catch is made by the second baseman, Frazier.
Get down.
One beard, one blade, in one go. One blade is all you need. Shape or shave any length. Be your best you. Innovation and you. Phillips Norelco.
To the average insurance company, small businesses look the same. But because Hiscox has spent decades insuring small businesses, it sees each of them as unique as a strand of DNA or a fingerprint, with their own unique needs and challenges. That's why America's #1 online business insurer tailors its policies to each small business's very specific needs and yours. Hiscox, business insurance experts.
YouTube TV. Watch like a fan.
Get down.
Baseball should be a fun week ahead. The series starts tomorrow with the Cincinnati Reds in town. Good tickets are still available. Go to Cubs.com to secure yours. Styling.
Functional and fashionable. Starting play today. No second place team is closer than 6 games to the first place team and all the other divisions. The last place team in the NL Central is 5.5 out, and that is the Reds. That's how close this division race is. 1-0 from Quintana to Jung Ho Kang. There's a fastball for a strike.
Hence the long string of Dan Ratherisms about things being tight. He uses it for election races. We're going to use it for a pennant race.
Low and away. It's 2-1. Mentioned the Pirates being pretty aggressive. They have taken a total of 2 walks so far in the series. On the ground to third. That's David Bodie to glove and throw to first in time.
And I think that aggressive approach helps them to some degree in their ballpark. They have a big ballpark over there in Pittsburgh. Big outfield. So balls in play have a lot more room to fall in. And it's not really a home run hitter's ballpark. So some of the power that other teams might possess gets neutralized a little bit there. This ballpark, when the weather's nice and the ball's carrying, that approach will not serve them well, typically anyway. Guys, again, a lot of ground ball, line drive type hitters, not sluggers. They don't walk, so they're kind of an old-fashioned team in some regards, right? They're certainly not a money ball team with on base and slugging being the focus.
Dickerson took a spill on a head-first slide at third yesterday. And this is young son who's kind of mimicking that slide at home as he flies to Schwarber. Ended up face planting as his hands got caught in the dirt. 2 outs. Here's Elias Diaz. Nothing out of 4 in the series. Got the call off the corner. And strike 1.
I think you fight against as a starting pitcher when you face the same team in back-to-back starts is this notion that you've got to change things up. And what worked before won't necessarily work the next time. The hitter had a weakness 10 days ago. He's likely got the same weakness today. Quintana threw a lot of curveballs in his start over in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about what the scouting report is, trying to get out of patterns. And in a lot of cases, you don't have to trick people. You just execute your pitch. Doesn't matter if they know it's coming. And he picks up his second strikeout. And the Pirates fail to score in the second.
Get down.
One beard, one blade, in one go. One blade is all you need. Shape or shave any length. Be your best you. Innovation and you. Phillips Norelco.
To the average insurance company, small businesses look the same. But because Hiscox has spent decades insuring small businesses, it sees each of them as unique as a strand of DNA or a fingerprint, with their own unique needs and challenges. That's why America's #1 online business insurer tailors its policies to each small business's very specific needs and yours. Hiscox, business insurance experts.
Lowe's knows to paint it right, only the best will do. So we carry pro-trusted Purdy brushes and rollers and everything else you need so you can get in, get out, and get it done. Now get a 5-gallon pail of Valspar ceiling paint for $99. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
Want to get paid faster? Send an invoice with QuickBooks.
You invoiced me?
I accept credit, debit, bank transfer.
Brought to you by Sport Clips Haircuts. Cut the weight. Download the new Sport Clips Haircuts app and check in. Speaking father-son moments, want to say happy birthday to my dad, Joe.
Happy birthday, Joe.
Celebrating number 72. He shares a birthday with Steve Stone. They were literally born on the same day, July 14th, 1947. So happy 72nd, Stoney.
And a happy Bastille Day, everybody. Out there, reenact the storming of the prison. It's always good fun.
The 0-1 to Rizzo, really hugging the plate. Kind of a bear hug of the plate.
He is the Bear. Big, strong human being. And I always marvel at how nimble he is over there at first base.
Jiggs Parrott was born on this date in 1871.
Should have played for the Pirates.
An infielder and played for the Colts back in the 1890s. They would later become the Cubs.
Jiggsy. Well, he played the game hard.
He did. Wasn't very good. Had a negative WAR. Is 4.1. First Oregon native to make the big leagues.
There's a good bit of trivia.
Williams on a 1-2. Line shot, base hit.
Peek over his shoulder back into the dugout after that swing. So I had a conversation with somebody over there about this at bat, what his intentions were. Anthony had a good day yesterday. A couple base hits. He also lined out a deep drive to left, and that seems to be where his focus has been lately, just trying to stay back a little bit longer, let that ball travel, hit it hard the other way, and you start to make good solid contact. He's been doing that for the last 10 days or so. So we talk about the fact that he hasn't homered in a while, but there have been a lot of good things for Anthony lately, and just sooner or later he's going to pop one and get on a roll in that department.
He's got a 14 game on base streak as Caratini takes ball one. And since 2015, that is his 1,201st reach, ranking 4th in the majors behind Votto, Trout, and Goldschmidt. Contreras dealing with a sore foot. They're scheduled to get the start today. Should be available off the bench later. 2-0 on Victor.
See it time and time again. The guy who gets the quote-unquote surprise start ends up having a big day. Unleash, Victor. Yeah, just missed it. Williams will throw both a sinker and a four-seamer. He can get to 96 with his four-seam fastball, but typically pitches around 92. More giddy up on the four-seamer than the sinker. I think there's a little invisible going on with him too. There's some deception in his delivery. You see him a lot of times throw what appears to be a very hittable fastball, and he'll get a late swing or a guy underneath it a little bit.
Here's his 2-1. And the count now 2-2.
Not good over his last three starts, an ERA of 8.31, including his start against the Cubs on the first. He got the win, an 18-5 Pirate win. He allowed 5 runs, 9 hits, and 5 2/3.
That's since coming back from the injured list. Missed a month with a right side strain. Pirates are hoping he can duplicate last year's second half when he put up a 138 after the break. Cubs have back-to-back hits to start the second.
Caratini copies Rizzo by shooting it the other way. That's a good approach on that high fastball. They're trying to go in. It leaks back out over the plate and up. Caratini kind of climbs the ladder to get on top of that high two-seam fastball. I like the pitch John Lester rode out of here yesterday.
Big series for Heyward, 5 for 9, putting the game-winning RBI on Friday. 2 on, nobody out. Inside for ball 1. Our Toyota League leaders, brought to you by Toyota, the official vehicle of the Chicago Cubs. Visit your local Toyota dealer at buyatoyota.com. Since June 22nd, Frazier and Heyward leading the way in the NL. Could be 2. It's a 4-6-3. So the Cubs have a runner at third, but 2 outs in the inning. Remember, very early in the season, that was a problem for Jason. He bounced into a bunch of double plays before he got hot. We haven't seen a lot of that here of late.
No, I think a lot of the work he's been doing has been left center. And with that approach, you're less likely, obviously, to pull the ball on the ground. Staying inside the ball.
So he hit into 5 double plays in his first 5 games. And he's now hit into 5 double plays in his last 81 games. Robel Garcia, 1 strike.
Bell with a chance to be a hero here. Pick up Heyward.
Tap foul. He's done some good work. 4 for 14. Triple, 2 homers, couple of walks. He has struck out 7 times in 17 plate appearances, but you get power.
About a third of his fly balls left the ballpark in the minor leagues this year. Speaks to the power. There is big lead.
And he gets it done. Rizzo will trot home. Garcia on his way to second. He's got a double, and the Cubs lead 1-0.
Well, nice job, boy. It looked like a chance to have a real big inning, and then the double play ball provided an escape hatch for Williams, but Garcia said, "Not so fast, my friend."
Boy, on an 0-2, you got a fat one to hit.
I think even the double play ball that Heyward hit was a bit of a mistake pitch. Fastball command is not real sharp right now.
David Bodie in the 8th spot. His first start of the second half, takes ball 1. So the Cubs strike first for the 3rd consecutive day. Two and 0. And they'll intentionally walk Bodie with Quintana coming up.
An understandable strategy by Clint Hurdle, especially with Quintana in the scheduled hitter. He's not doing much with the bat at all. We've talked about a lot. Still prefer to try to get that a-hole hitter or give him an opportunity to get himself out with the pitcher on deck.
Jose 1 for 33.
I believe the Houston Astros still have not issued an intentional walk all year.
I don't think they're going to. 1-1.
There's a lot of data out there to support that philosophy.
Trade season has begun. The Red Sox acquired Andrew Cashner yesterday from Baltimore. And the Oakland A's have acquired Homer Bailey from Kansas City.
Cashner 9-3 with a high 3s ERA, having a nice year. To be 9-3 for that Baltimore club is pretty special. They only have 28 wins.
They also don't have a base runner today against the Rays. 2-2, 4-0. The Rays lead the Orioles. Ryan Stanek and Ryan Yarbrough have combined for 6 perfect innings. Stanek, the opener, went 2. Yarbrough has gone 4. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Robel Garcia, an 0-2, 2-out RBI double. Cubs lead 1-0 after 2.
Get down.
One beard, one blade, in one go. One blade is all you need. Shape or shave any length. Be your best you. Innovation and you. Phillips Norelco.
The average insurer thinks businesses are alike, but Hiscox knows each business is as unique as a fingerprint and tailors its policies to each small business's very specific needs. Hiscox, business insurance experts.
Lowe's knows you do an update right and save the best for last. We do it right too with the latest Samsung Family Hub refrigerator featuring Family Board. So what you bring home brings home together. Shop now for appliance savings like these. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
YouTube TV. Watch like a fan.
Want to get paid faster? Send an invoice with QuickBooks.
You invoiced me?
I accept credit, debit, bank transfer.
Wake up with ABC 7 Eyewitness News. Terrell Brown, Daniel Babich, Roz Varon, and meteorologist Tracy Butler get you ready with the latest news, weather, and traffic.
The Hooters hot play of the game brought to you by your Chicagoland Hooters. This ended the game yesterday. What kind of ending will we have today? We had an overturn call on Friday at first base for the final out, and then this Jim for the final 2 outs.
They should just put that on a continuous loop in the clubhouse.
I'm all for it.
Well, we got a little wardrobe malfunction here with Roccabella.
Frazier, the pitcher, Williams, and Newman. In the Pirates' third, Cubs lead 1-0. thinking about the Angels combined no-hitter featuring an opener, Taylor Cole, on Friday night, and what the Rays are doing currently in Baltimore. We're starting to slowly see more teams at least occasionally use an opener. Might a couple of no-hitters make it even more palatable for some teams?
Yeah, I just think anything that suggests or proves run suppression, you're going to think about.
Bodie to Rizzo in time.
The MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Wrigley Field. Buy and manage game tickets, redeem special check-in offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Yeah, I'm intrigued by it. As a former starting pitcher, it kind of goes against my nature.
I think also,
but as a viewer, fan, analyst of the game, can help you win. Tinker around with it.
You do it maybe one spot in your rotation, or do it once a month. You know, lots of ways to go about it, depending on how your pitching staff is configured.
Right, and we may evolve to a point where you do it every day. The teams just go, you know what, this is working. We can kind of tweak our roster in such a way where we can make this happen. There's so much shuttling now between AAA and the big leagues with bullpen arms anyway.
A 2-1 to Williams. It's now 2-2. He's hitting .211. That's a 4 for 19 start. Base hit. A good swing by Trevor Williams. Now 5 for 20, so his average up to 250.
Second hit of the ball game for the Pirates. Reynolds singled with one out in the first. Heyward had a notion there as he started to pursue that one. He's made a couple of really nice catches in this series. Out and right.
Newman had an inning to forget, a second inning in the Cubs home opener. Back in early April, committed 3 errors leading to 6 runs. Pretty much long forgotten. He's put together a nice season. And he's been good defensively at short. The Pirates just snapped a 50-inning errorless streak yesterday. That's a strike, 1-1. At last check when we were in Pittsburgh, and I'll double check, Newman had not committed an error at shortstop since that 3-error inning
here. I believe that's right. Yep.
Bryant in, and he can't get it. Tried to deke Williams, but the Pirates have back-to-back one-out singles.
Yeah, pretty good bit of base running there by Williams. Pitcher doesn't have a lot of experience on the bases. I actually thought Chris was going to come in and make a play on this ball. I think if he takes another step or two and doesn't do the deke, he's going to catch this ball in the air.
And confirmed, Newman with just those 3 errors at short. Now Reynolds, he singled in the first. Low and inside. for ball one. First series at Wrigley for Reynolds. Vanderbilt product. He's from Nolensville, Tennessee. His dad tried to get him into fishing. And he said, nope, I'm into baseball. That's going to tie the ball game as Williams scores. 3 consecutive hits for the Pirates, and it's 1-1.
Spraying it around as they do. 1 to center, 1 to right, now 1 to left. This one solidly struck. The last one clearly was not. But still counts. Found an empty patch of real estate. Good swing, man. Good looking young hitter. His batting average has taken a pretty good dip here in the last 10 days or so.
And more trouble looming as Marte will bat with runners at first and third, and Tommy Hotovy makes a visit. Hey fans, you now have the ability to purchase 50/50 raffle tickets online within the Chicago city limits. Win half the net proceeds from the game's raffle ticket sales, with the other half benefiting Cubs charities. Go to Cubs.com/raffle now to secure your tickets. So starting at 11 a.m. Central Time before every Cubs home game, you can go online and get in the mix for the jackpot. Yesterday's 50/50 raised more than $28,000. Cubs.com/raffle to get involved as you watch Cubs baseball with us. 1-0 on Marte.
Caratini got crossed up there. He's lucky to get a piece of that. Watch how late he reacts to that. He's sitting, he's looking fastball down and away. I think a conversation took place on the mound as to what they were going to do. Somewhere between the meeting and the pitch, something changed. Mentioned this yesterday, Marte has not taken a walk against a left-handed pitcher this year. Thought he had one yesterday, but he was rung up on a backdoor cutter from John Lester.
This gets away, and a real good read by Reynolds, so he gets second. Newman holding at third. He takes a double play chance away, and it's 3-0 on Marte.
Yeah, so pick your poison, and you know Josh Bell is on deck, and you won't think, well, you won't put somebody on base in front of him, but it's already a 3-0 count to a dangerous hitter who's hit 3 home runs already this weekend. Bell not quite as dangerous from the right side as he is the left side.
Trio swing and a foul strike. Yeah, Marte doesn't want to give that RBI chance to the guy on deck. He wants to drive him in right here.
Yeah, so that's where his lack of patience could really work against him, because if you find a way to punch him out, and then you could put Bell on if you so chose.
Drive way back there. Heyward on the track. Ball's going to stay in. Wind actually helping today. Throw to third late. Pirates lead by a run. I think Friday or Saturday, that's a home run. Just a little push back toward home plate from that wind blowing in. Kept it in the yard. So it's a sac fly.
Off the bat, I didn't think he hit it all that well, but obviously he did.
Bell with a runner at third, 2 in. And 2 down. Curve strike. Bell's from Dallas, Texas, and drafted as a corner outfielder, moved to first base in the fall league in 2014. That's when it was Marte, McCutchen, Polanco in the Pirates outfield.
At the highest signing bonus ever for a second-round pick, $5 million to convince him not to go to UT Austin and start his professional career.
Change up, 2-1.
He's a high school classmate of Jordan Spieth down there in Dallas.
He didn't have much of a baseball career.
No, but
3-1.
They both can drive the ball. Dallas Jesuit College prep.
All this started with a 1-out single by the pitcher, Trevor Williams. Bell draws the walk. Their first walk since Friday.
And just a situation there where Quintana's not going to give in to Bell. Don't want to get careless here with Gung, though. He's got power. Sometimes as a pitcher you have to fight that inclination after the kind of the pitch around to get overly aggressive with the next guy.
Jung Ho Kang drills one out toward left center. It'll get to the barrier. Reynolds is in. Bell will stop at third. It's a double, and it's 3-1.
A couple tough breaks for Quintana in the inning. Balls that could have been played that were not. Then a couple real solid shots, including this one by Gung.
So his 50th career 2-base hit. And he went down to get it. And the batter is Dickerson. Dickerson playing in just his 31st game today. Battled a right shoulder injury earlier. Recently, some groin discomfort.
Not a big sample, but success against Quintana coming into the start, 5 out of 11 with a home run.
Cue to the windup with runners at second and third. This feels like a big at bat, doesn't it? Right now it's a 3-1 game, but 2 more in scoring position. Big out to get for Quintana. It would be a huge hit for Dickerson.
Been to cheat the other way in the outfield on Dickerson.
Bryant in right makes the catch. Pirates get 3 and have a 3-1 lead in the third.
Get down.
One beard, one blade, in one go. One blade is all you need. Shape or shave any length. Be your best you. Innovation and you. Phillips Norelco.
To the average insurance company, small businesses look the same. But because Hiscox has spent decades insuring small businesses, it sees each of them as unique as a strand of DNA or a fingerprint, with their own unique needs and challenges. That's why America's #1 online business insurer tailors its policies to each small business's very specific needs and yours. Hiscox, business insurance experts.
In baseball, when there was a stolen base opportunity, StatCast AI powered by AWS will predict the probability of a successful stolen base.
Not in time, he's saved.
See how AI technology will give you new insights into the game.
Danny, you're not doing anything.
That's the point. It does it for you. That's literally the point of the ad.
Lowe's knows to paint it right, only the best will do. So we carry pro-trusted Purdy brushes and rollers and everything else you need so you can get in, get out, and get it done. Now get a 5-gallon pail of Valspar ceiling paint for $99. Do it right for less.
Forecast meteorologists Cheryl Scott, Larry Mowry, Tracy Butler, and Phil Schwartz alert you first to changing conditions and severe weather. ABC 7 Eyewitness News, your AccuWeather station.
Hey, cut that out. It's annoying.
Trevor Williams has a 3-1 lead here in the third, facing Schwarber, Baez, and Bryant, and Kyle carves one foul off to the left. Pirates shift against him. And you see the impact of this shift on Schwarber's ground ball batting average. The Pirates came in having employed the 7th most shifts in the majors, just over 1,000. The Cubs have been shifted against more often than anybody, over 1,000 times.
You see that kind of inside-out carve swing, trying to hit it the other way from the Rizzo Caratini playbook, and that's the plight of the modern left-handed slugger. You know, you're going to do more damage to the pull side in terms of your extra base power, but if you hit on the ground, there's 3 guys over there in the zone trap. It's really going to suppress the batting average.
Line and a 2-2. It's in tight. One thing we might be veering toward ever so casually in terms of shifting. You know, Baez is a shortstop, but a lot of times he ends up being the deep man on the right side, where Adam Frazier is currently playing for the Pirates. Schwarber held, ball 4. But the idea, especially in a smaller ballpark like this, of maybe playing a step or 2 deeper than even normal, and being an option to catch a fairly deep fly ball.
Yeah. Well,
really having your right fielder over toward the gap, so you kind of, you know, you expand your zone as almost a hybrid outfielder infielder.
The guy can possibly run down a little flare towards the line and take away the gap with your outfielder.
And you assume a ball in the corner is probably a hit anyway, right?
For sure.
I think the sky's the limit in terms of what teams can do in terms of the athleticism of certain fielders.
And I'm wondering too if we will see, you know, we've seen that on the odd occasion if teams start to play more of a 4 outfield alignment straight across, or bunch all 3, you know, really hard to the pull side for a certain hitter. You know, shifting on the infield, you're taking away singles. But adding an extra man in the outfield, you're taking away doubles and possibly triples. Right, if the thinking is, well, we're not going to play a guy on the left side of the infield because this guy's bat path and spray chart says he almost never hits it over there. With a certain slugger, a Joey Gallo type guy. Well, instead of putting another guy on the pull side in the infield, let's just put him in the outfield.
And a couple of teams have done that. 2-1.
Yeah, just curious to see if more and more. I think there's always a fear in the game. I don't want to be perceived as I'm smarter than everybody else. I've got this figured out, and then having it backfire on you takes a certain amount of independence to do something like that. And certainly it's risky.
A rocket caught by Dickerson, who won the Gold Glove last year. Wow, as that ball struck well. But 4 and out.
Buzzard's luck here for Baez. You can't hit it any harder than that. God damn it.
That brings up Bryant. Three-1 Pirates, last of the third. Williams went to Cole Hamels' alma mater, Rancho Bernardo High in San Diego. Marlins took him out of Arizona State, second round 2013, traded here in October of 15. His father, Richard, from Chicago, grew up a huge Cubs fan. Skipped school to see Ernie Banks hit number 500. One and one to Bryant. Just missed.
Missed where he wanted to miss, too, off the plate. Able to get the ball in on Chris last time. Fastball up and in a little bit. Pop up on the infield.
Favorable count for Chris. He swings away and hits it sky high for Dickerson.
He was fighting that one. You could just tell by his body language. Tentative approach. Fighting it the whole way.
Rizzo, by the way, I'm really digging the outfield pattern. They have cut into the Wrigley Field grass. It is just gorgeous. Were you out on the mower earlier today?
Yeah.
Making that happen?
I want to play checkers. Well, if Riz is going to go deep today, this would be a good time to do it with a man aboard. Down 2. See if Butter will flash him the home run sign down there at third base.
Took a change up outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
This guy's, I mean, he got Chris and he got away with a little bit. And again, I think he has that invisible fastball working, but 3-1 count on Bryant. Survived it. Now he's 2-0 on Rizzo. Take a look at our Xfinity strike zone, and you see that changeup is right in the heart of the zone, but the off-speed nature of the pitch enough to fool Rizzo just a little bit. He had a home run swing at it.
Leadoff walk to Schwarber, but 2 outs now. He's still at first. Nationals and Phillies tied at 3. Top of the 7th from Philadelphia. JT Realmuto has hit his 11th. Nationals are red hot. Won 12 of 14. Looking for their 50th win today. That's all over the Marlins 5-1 midway in the 7th from Miami. Pause in the stretch. 2-2 swing and a miss, and the Cubs finished in the 3rd, trailing the Pirates in the series finale 3-1.
Get down.
One beard, one blade, in one go. One blade is all you need. Shape or shave any length. Be your best you. Innovation and you. Phillips Norelco.
To the average insurance company, small businesses look the same. But because Hiscox has spent decades insuring small businesses, it sees each of them as unique as a strand of DNA or a fingerprint, with their own unique needs and challenges. That's why America's #1 online business insurer tailors its policies to each small business's very specific needs and yours. Hiscox, business insurance experts.
Lowe's knows you do it right by finding the best deals on paint and stain. We do it right too, with big savings on top brands like Valspar, Cabot, and HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams. The time is right at Lowe's.
Get Valspar Paint Plus Primer starting at $19.98.
Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
Danny, you're not doing anything.
That's the point. It does it for you. That's literally the point of the ad.
I'm Dave Ortiz, and this is my puppy. He's a prostate cancer survivor, and I'm thankful every day that we caught it before it was too late. Every 3 minutes, another father, brother.
Today's 4th inning is brought to you by Four Winds Casinos, your entertainment escape.
Three to 1, the Pirates lead. That perfect game intact into the 9th. Rays lead the Orioles 4-0. We'll keep you posted as Elias Diaz leads off for the Pirates.
Now that would be the real downside, right? If teams adopted much more aggressively towards the opener strategy, fewer and fewer complete games, historic games, perfect games, and no hitters. Combined, it's cool, but nowhere near the accomplishment as one man going out there and doing it.
The 0-1 serve from Quintana is fouled back to the screen behind the plate.
Jose looking for a bounce back inning after giving up 3 in the 3rd. He's been remarkably consistent throughout his major league career. Cardinal scout.
Cardinals now have a 4-0 lead in the fourth over Arizona. Paul Goldschmidt has homered off his former teammate Zach Greinke, his 17th. We wish Hall of Famer Bob Gibson the best. Apparently he is battling pancreatic cancer and will not be able to participate in the induction ceremony at Cooperstown next weekend. Two to Diaz. And it's full.
That's what Chase, what Quintana had in mind. Q came into this game with a 4.19 ERA. League average for a National League starter is 4.29.
And he just dealt the leadoff walk. Second of the day. And now Adam Frazier.
The first one was a little bit of a pitch around situation with Josh Bell, but certainly not the case here with Diaz.
Do you know?
Go ahead.
Because I don't. When you are named a player of the week in either league, what sort of tangible thing you get? Do you get a plaque?
Yeah, you must
get an
something.
email.
I think I would like to think you get a nice timepiece.
Something. Frazier, the reigning NL player of the week. Or do you have to be player of the month to start getting actual stuff? Beyond acknowledgement.
I would think you get at least a little something, a little paperweight or something.
Well, we'll ask some Cubs who've won that award. Oh, 2 to Frazier.
Anyway, the thing on Quintana I was going to mention.
Yeah.
Last year he finished with a 4.03 ERA. League average was 4. That's the only year in his career that he's finished with an ERA higher than league average. And most years he's been a good bit better than league average. He's not spent a single day on the disabled list. He gives you 5 consecutive years of 32 starts. Every year he's been a full-time big leaguer. He's made 30 or more. He's just remarkably consistent and dependable. Yes, like any other player, he has his ups and downs.
Yeah, you would say unspectacular, but definitely solid. And the things he, quote, does best kind of get overlooked. Ground ball to Rizzo. Baez at second. One relay, Quintana, and the throw gets past. It does stay in play. So Frazier is safe on a fielder's choice.
Very difficult double play to convert the 3-6-1. Pitcher on the move covering. Got a guy that runs well going down the line.
Williams bunts toward first. It's foul.
Kind of the fun thing about Quintana, the performance matches the personality. He's about as steady as they get.
Check on the runner Frazier at first.
Never see any emotion out of Quintana. He's not out there pumping his fist, nor is he slamming things around when things don't go his way.
Curve strike. Giants lead the Brewers 2-1 as they bat in the fifth. Brandon Belt has homered for San Francisco today. Kyle Hendricks will start tomorrow night to begin the Reds series. Alec Mills will make his Cubs season debut on Tuesday, pitching in Cole Hamels' spot. Yu Darvish will go on Wednesday afternoon. 2-2. Castillo, DeSclafani, and Gray in order for the Reds. Cubs have not won a series against the Reds in 3 tries so far this season. There's the bunt. Quintana will get the out at first. Williams with a sacrifice. Hey, Cub fans, if you miss any of today's action, ABC 7 rebroadcasts the encore of Pirates Cubs tonight at 7 p.m. on ABC 7's digital channel 7.2 and these cable channel positions. Runner at second, 2 outs. The batter is Kevin Newman. Pirates will head to St. Louis after this one. Orioles have a hit. Hanser Alberto with a 9th inning single off Ryan Yarbrough. There would be no combined perfect game or no hitter.
Riddle me this, Batman. Kevin Newman is batting .302 with runners in scoring position.
Okay.
Is that good?
It's 20. What is your point? It's 20 points below his.
Yeah. 325 batting average.
I would say it is good. Yeah. But not as good as with nobody on. Yeah, that's a discussion we could have for hours. Runners in scoring position. 3-1 Pirates in the 4th.
Get down.
One beard, one blade, in one go. One blade is all you need. Shape or shave any length. Be your best you. Innovation and you. Phillips Norelco.
To the average insurance company, small businesses look the same. But because Hiscox has spent decades insuring small businesses, it sees each of them as unique as a strand of DNA or a fingerprint, with their own unique needs and challenges. That's why America's #1 online business insurer tailors its policies to each small business's very specific needs and yours. Hiscox, business insurance experts.
Dora, I just want you to have a good first day. If I don't talk to you, don't take it personal, okay? We're all just trying to survive. High school's a horrible nightmare.
Excuse me? I'm kind of stuck.
We're on to something big, Dora.
An ancient city of gold.
This is our chance. We're gonna break some rules.
Oh, look, Dora brought a knife, everybody.
We're gonna die out here.
There's no need to overreact.
Cut it off!
It's a jungle puzzle.
Oops, that's a real crossbow.
Honey, it's a real crossbow, yep.
Dora and the Lost City of Gold, rated PG.
Introducing the all-new 2019 Subaru Forester. Its driver-focused distraction mitigation system is like having an attentive co-pilot to alert you to distracted driving.
Are brought to you by Plumbers 911. Call day or night at 1-833-PLUM-911. Plumbers 911, your plumbing connection. He's got it going on. Dakota Hudson, last 8 starts. He's 5-1 with a .260. And Tanner Roark of the Reds has been scuffling with a .509 ERA over his last 7 starts. Long ball's been taking a bite out of him. Combo platter right there, baby.
Williams to Caratini, and Victor jumps on the first pitch and lines right to Reynolds. One out now, Jason Heyward.
Well, not hit as sharply as Baez's ball last inning, but loud out.
Bad news is he grounded into a double play in the second. The good news is he can't do that here. And hey, it's Sunday, and I'm told we have a little bit of a trivia question today. Since 1950, name the 3 pitchers with 10 wins in a season for both the Pirates and the Cubs. Wow.
I have one in mind.
Let us have it.
Rick Russell.
Yeah, that's an easy one. Good call. I say easy, but I hadn't thought of it. At the end of the bat foul.
How about Paul Maholm?
Another interesting choice. John Lieber.
Oh yeah, I love Lieber.
Dropped by Frazier. He recovers in time.
Since 1950. So let me ask the quizmaster down there in the truck. Do we have to go into the Wayback Machine a little bit? Do we have to go back towards that 1950s, 60s era to find one of these gentlemen?
Russell Lieber are the 2 we've gotten.
So the yes is the answer. The third one is.
How about Mike Bilecki? Is that a possibility?
It is, but the quizmaster says we have to go back in time.
Oh, we gotta go back. Okay.
Yeah, so he set the parameters there at 1950, I think, for a reason.
All right.
Let me see. Did Bob Friend pitch for the Cubs? Vern Law. Ooh, right through the wickets, right through the 5-hole.
Through his legs?
Yeah. Trying to go down and in, and to that end, he was successful.
Misses. Garcia with a double to knock in the first run of the game.
Did a pretty nice job some of these left-handed hitters for the Cubs not offering at that changeup, because he's thrown some really good-looking changes right off the edge, and they're not flinching. They're seeing it well. That time he got the swing and miss. He doubled up on it.
Well, but foul.
I need to know from the quizmaster when this gentleman pitched, and kind of a time frame of years. 50s and 60s. Was he known more as a Pirate or a Cub?
Oh, good question.
3 down. We'll go to Orson Bean.
3-2.
Ooh, here's a good hint for you folks at home. He was more famous as a Cub for one game in particular. No Pappas pitch for the Pirates?
That was one thought I had.
Baltimore.
That'll get in there. Garcia's got another double.
He's got some life in that bat, let me tell you. All those home runs in the minor leagues this year. A lot of solid contact. He's putting on a Cub uniform now. We'll see what happens the longer he's in the league and the opposing pitchers start to get a sense of what he's capable of, and they change their patterns. But right now it looks awfully good. He was double-double here today. Yeah, 2-2.
Bodie will be walked again intentionally.
No, Pappas never played for the Pirates. I cheated. I looked that up.
So Quintana will bat with 2 on and 2 down. I think we probably should have our time limit as the end of this inning.
Yeah, I think.
Don Cardwell comes to mind because he threw a no-hitter first game as a Cub, right?
Okay.
He was acquired from the Phillies.
Let's go, Dom.
I think that is right.
Yeah, I just looked at Don Cardwell won 13 games with the 63 Pirates. He won 13 games with the 65 Pirates. He won 15 games with the 61 Cubs.
So our final answer, Cardwell, Russell, Lieber. And a base hit. Garcia round third. Here comes the throw. And it gets away. Quintana will hold it first. Cubs starting pitcher coming through again. And it's a 1-run ball game.
Boy, that's the risk you take with the intentional walk. Now, again, it's in Clint Hurdle's mind a pretty low risk given Quintana's track record with a bat in his hand. But this time, Q takes him to school. Center cut fastball, just a little flip into right field. Watch Butter come down the line, cranking up that Model T. Way offline.
And is that big? Quintana with his second hit of this season, 5th career RBI.
And it's even a riskier play when you've got a dangerous leadoff man. Schwarber qualifies as a dangerous leadoff man.
Tying run at third. Schwarber, a high fly, pretty well hit. But on the warning track, it's caught by Dickerson to end the inning. Quintana comes through after the intentional walk of Bodie, and it's a 1-run ball game after 4.
At Hardee's, we crunched the numbers and made breakfast simple. $4 gets you 2 breakfast favorites. Grab a delicious biscuit, a Frisco breakfast sandwich, or a new loaded hash round bowl. That's 1 + 1 more for $4. It all adds up to, I can't read this, it's bacon. Hardee's, 'cause it tastes better.
Get down.
One beard, one blade, in one go. One blade is all you need. Shape or shave any length. Be your best you. Innovation and you. Phillips Norelco.
If you think you know Dora,
Hola.
think again.
Oh, look, Dora brought a knife, everybody.
On August 9th,
The jungle is perfectly safe.
It's so awkward when adults cry.
Dora and the Lost City of Gold. Rated PG.
Danny, are you napping?
No, I'm busy managing my inventory.
This Friday, it is time. The world can't wait. Disney's The Lion King, rated PG.
One more time.
Oh, no, I think we did
I think we got this one.
Let's leave them wanting more.
Get tickets now.
Introducing the all-new 2019 Subaru Forester. Its driver-focused distraction mitigation system is like having an attentive
Begin their series against the Reds at 7:05. Up to the first 10,000 early arriving fans get a Chris Bryant bobblehead presented by Las Vegas. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. All right, let's answer our Sunday trivia. Since 1950, name the 3 pitchers with 10 wins in a season for both the Pirates and the Cubs. This is not an easy question. And we would not have gotten the answer on Cardwell. At least I wouldn't. We've
No.
not been given a few hints.
We need the hints. So we feel pretty good about getting two out of 3 without hints or cheating.
Paul Maholm had an 11-win season with the Pirates and a 9-win campaign with the Cubs. So if you'd like to take that up on appeal, that the 11 plus 9 equals 20 and it averages to 10, that's your business.
Point, yeah. Ain't too proud to beg.
I already told the appeal it would be denied. Reynolds to deep right on the track. It's caught by Bryant.
Count on Chicago's most accurate radar, live Doppler 7 Max, the most advanced technology, only on ABC 7 Eyewitness News. If I were a weatherman, I would name my dog Doppler Max.
Would it just be Max for short?
Yeah. Doppler Max. Here, Doppler Max.
And then if you saw a dog in the neighborhood that looked just like him, it'd be a doppelganger.
Indeed.
To Marte. Foul bunt.
So he's no longer the best Marte in the league with what Tel Marte is doing. Power surge that he has enjoyed.
Tel's had a great year, an all-star. Leading the league in hits. Had 21 doubles and 21 home runs.
I forgot to ask Gregory Polanco, what's the prognosis? When do they expect him back? Do you have any intel on that?
I don't know. Polanco has a left shoulder injury. looking. And a changeup.
Yeah, and I think, you know, Marte was on that pitch. I think he was kind of hunching or sitting on changeup. He just thought it was off the plate. Borderline pitch, well executed pitch by Quintana. It's a great look at it in slow-mo.
Bell with 2 outs. Base is empty. Fastball low.
Strikeout number 3 for Quintana.
He's allowed 3, but he's knocked in 1. Jorge Soler has hit his 25th for Kansas City, but the Royals are trailing 10-4 at home against Detroit in the 5th inning. In the air down the right field line and to the seats. Good Sunday night matchup from Fenway Park. Dodgers Red Sox. Ryu and Price in a battle of lefties. He went 2-2. Orioles did score a run in the 9th after breaking up the perfect game and no hit bid, but the Rays beat them 4-1. Cut off by Bodie. Quintana works a 1-2-3 5th inning. Pirates 3, Cubs 2.
Get down.
One beard, one blade, in one go. One blade is all you need. Shape or shave any length. Be your best you. Innovation and you. Phillips Norelco.
To the average insurance company, small businesses look the same. But because Hiscox has spent decades insuring small businesses, it sees each of them as unique as a strand of DNA or a fingerprint, with their own unique needs and challenges. That's why America's #1 online business insurer tailors its policies to each small business's very specific needs and yours. Hiscox, business insurance experts.
If you think you know Dora,
Hola.
think again.
Oh, look, Dora brought a knife, everybody.
On August 9th,
The jungle is perfectly safe.
It's so awkward when adults cry.
Dora and the Lost City of Gold. Rated PG.
Let's get down to business. The business of getting it done. The business of road trips. The business of getting everyone back together. The business of hustle and hard work and whatever this is. Modernized Comfort Inns and Suites have been refreshed because whatever business you're in,
check out the variety of luxury premier options that Wrigley Field has to offer for your next client, corporate, or family function, like the Legends Suite, which includes an all-inclusive suite experience, pregame tour, and best of all, a visit from a former Cub player. For more information on all premier options, visit Cubs.com/premier. Numbers have really picked up here in the last inning or so.
Ball 1 to Javi Baez. Three-two Pirates. Williams home. And a soft bouncer to short. Newman gets him.
And nice play on the move by Newman. Quick transfer from glove to throwing hand there.
Really good on the transfer. Bell, a couple of times in this series, has been dangerously close to pulling his foot off the bag before he catches the ball. Bryant smacks one into center. He's aboard with one out.
Wasting no time. Looked like first pitch slider from Williams. Head right on it. Pretty swing. Good result. Pirates. Starting pitching was supposed to be a strength for this ball club. It has not been. They have a starter's ERA of 5.02, next to last in the National League. Better only than the Rockies. So when you consider the ballpark factor, it's probably the worst in the league.
Rizzo 1 for 2, single run and a strikeout, and a cut and a miss. Pirates encouraged by what Chris Archer did on Friday. Even though he was charged with 3 runs, he went 6 innings, struck out 10. And it was considered his best start as a Pirate. Jordan Lyles couldn't get out of the first yesterday. A Tyone injury has been pretty devastating to them. Chad Kuhl, Tommy John surgery. Stephen Brault currently out, left shoulder. Oh, 2 is hit toward the right field corner. It is just foul. Call made by Kerwin Danley. That was the right call. Almost no room in that corner, but it hit the sidewall.
Have used 12 different starting pitchers this year. And to piece it together.
In the right. Bryant on his way to third. Cubs have it cooking.
Second knock of the day for Anthony. A little bounding ball. Changeup down. Good pitch. Got his ground ball, but Anthony able to find a hole, and that allowed Bryant to streak into third.
See if Caratini can get him in.
He's been on it today. Solid single first time, line out last time.
Cubs catchers leading the majors with a .944 OPS entering action this afternoon. Ball 1. Christian Yelich just hit a game-tying homer, his 32nd. 2-2. Giants Brewers from Milwaukee in the 6th.
He'll retake the league lead in home runs. Bellinger tied him with one last night.
Here comes Bryant. Caratini with a sac fly. And a tie game, 3-3.
Well, settle for the sac fly. Could easily have 3 hits today. He has been all over Trevor Williams this afternoon. Real loud out, but a productive one this time.
Run scoring at bats today. Garcia, RBI double. Quintana, run scoring single, and then this Caratini sac fly. Rizzo at first. 2 outs, 3-3. Pitch number 80 on the afternoon for the right-hander.
Williams got the Cubs in order in the first inning, but he's had at least one base runner in every inning since.
Another check on Rizzo, who's got a pretty short lead.
Chatwood up in the pen. We haven't seen him in a while.
I saw him before the game. Oh, I know.
There he is.
1-1. Heyward out into deep right center. Way back there. Gone. 5-3.
Well, one way to avoid the loud out, hit it into the bleachers. The resurgence of Jason Heyward has been a huge story for this Cubs team, and it continues. That's number 15 for Heyward. And it's your Toyota home run replay. Trying to go down and away. It was outer third, but up a little bit. He got out in front of it.
Ray Searage out. Cubs have the lead again. Heyward came in with his highest OPS since his rookie year 2010. 827. He's got 15 home runs.
Without doing a deep dive, and there's a lot of baseball yet to be played, we start thinking about that Comeback Player of the Year award.
Robel Garcia. 1-1. He's 2 for 2, 2 doubles, an RBI and a run from the 7th spot. Change up, 1-2.
Len mentioned the 2010 rookie season. The high OPS in terms of numbers. 2012 was best home run season.
Garcia strikes out. Cubs tied it on the Caratini sac fly. Grab the lead on the Heyward homer. It's 5-3 after 5.
Get down.
One mustache, one blade, in one go. One blade is all you need. Shape or shave any length. Be your best you. Innovation and you. Phillips Norelco.
To the average insurance company, small businesses look the same. But because Hiscox has spent decades insuring small businesses, it sees each of them as unique as a strand of DNA or a fingerprint, with their own unique needs and challenges. That's why America's #1 online business insurer tailors its policies to each small business's very specific needs and yours. Hiscox, business insurance experts.
Extra large panoramic moonroof in the new Subaru Forester.
Dora, I just want you to have a good first day. If I don't talk to you, don't take it personal, okay? We're all just trying to survive. High school's a horrible nightmare.
Excuse me? I'm kind of stuck.
We're on to something big, Dora.
An ancient city of gold.
This is our chance. We're gonna break some rules.
Oh, look, Dora brought a knife, everybody.
We're gonna die out here.
There's no need to overreact.
It's a jungle puzzle.
Oops, that's a real crossbow.
Honey, it's a real crossbow, yep.
Dora and the Lost City of Gold, rated PG.
Lowe's knows you do an update right and save the best.
Let's take a look at the perfect pitch. Brought to you by Leinenkugel's Summer Shandy. Crisp beer with refreshing lemonade flavor. Get ready to take back summer.
Cambio. At the knees on the outside corner. Marte thought it was down. Nice job by Caratini. Presenting that pitch to the home plate umpire, John Tumpain.
Was acquired Q 2 years ago yesterday. One strike to Jung Ho Gung. Cubs have a 2-run lead here in the 6th inning. Ready on an 0-2. Hey, he got him. 4th strikeout for Jose.
A nice job bouncing back after that tough third. He's retired 7 in a row now. Giants Brewers tied now 2-2 top 7.
Rounded wall foul.
Cardinals lead the D-backs 5-0. And Wainwright pitching shutout ball. He was pushed back. The back spasms due to something. Might be thinking of Scherzer because he was pushed back too with a back issue.
1-2. I think Scherzer went to the IL.
You go to the list?
I think so. Mid-back strain. Outside 2-2.
Pitch with a busted nose, but you can't pitch with a strained back.
Indians beat the Twins 4-3. Carlos Santana hit his 21st. And that one. Bieber and Barrios pitched. Neither figured in the decision. That's in the left center for Dickerson.
Yeah, that's his stroke. All line drives in that direction, especially against a left-handed pitcher. Did you see let's take a look again at Dickerson. Does a real good job. So he's choked up on the bat, emphasizing contact. Shoots it the other way. The Kepler-Bauer thing. Max Kepler had 5 consecutive home runs against Trevor Bauer. Bauer finally struck him out his 3rd at bat yesterday.
Wow, 5 in a row.
Yeah.
Giants just scored, leading 3-2 at Milwaukee in the 7th. Got some barn burners in the NL Central and beyond. Reds and Rockies 4-4, each team with a 4-run inning early. They'll play the 4th. Double play chance. Garcia. Baez. 2. Inning over. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's still the Cubs 5 and the Pirates 3.
Get down.
One mustache, one blade, in one go. One blade is all you need. Shape or shave any length. Be your best you. Innovation and you. Phillips Norelco.
To the average insurance company, small businesses look the same. But because Hiscox has spent decades insuring small businesses, it sees each of them is as unique as a strand of DNA or a fingerprint, with their own unique needs and challenges. That's why America's #1 online business insurer tailors its policies to each small business's very specific needs and yours. Hiscox, business insurance experts.
Danny, you're not doing anything.
That's the point. It does it for you. That's literally the point of the ad.
Hey, my name is Ethan. I work at Best Buy Store 204. Welcome to the lab. Today we're talking about the Samsung refrigerator with food showcase. With the showcase door, you get quick access to all of the items you grab on a regular basis. I like the autofill pitcher over here. Automatically fills up so I'm never out of water, and because of the little cord there, it automatically just infuses the flavor so you always get great tasting water. That's it from the lab. See you next time.
Anchors Alan Kraszewski and Cheryl Burton, meteorologist Cheryl Scott, and sports with Mark Giangreco. ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 10.
David Bodie, and it looks like Albert Almora Jr. to hit for Quintana as Williams works in the last of the 6th. Just off the corner, ball 1. So it'll be a quality start for Quintana. 6 innings, 3 runs. He will leave with the lead. Chance for his 3rd straight win.
We'll get him back to 500 at 7-7.
Chatting with Mike Borzello. Tony Hottovy as they go over Jose's start today. Swing and a miss, strike 3. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. Almora off the bench. So it'll be up to the bullpen the rest of the day. Brandon Kinsler is up in the Cubs bullpen. This will be the last inning for Williams. He's due up 2nd in the 7th.
Take favorable count. Chance to do a little damage. 2 out of 11 as a pinch hitter.
Drilled to deep left. It'll go. 6-3.
Albert 3 out of 12 as a pinch hitter. And that's his 2nd pinch hit home run. Warming to the task. Crushed.
New career high with 9. Our Toyota home run replay.
Just a good patient at bat off the bench. Worked himself into a favorable count and then got aggressive on a 3-1 heater. A no doubter for our Toyota home run replay. Look out there. Incoming.
Schwarber a blast. There she goes. 7-3.
Well, he hit some majestic home runs. Showed earlier how the shift impacts batting average. That's unshiftable. Can't defend that.
Toyota home run replay. And homer on back-to-back pitches.
The Heyward home run made him the 6th different Cub with at least 15, and no other club in Major League Baseball has done that. And they got a whole bunch of them. Finished with 30 or around 30 or more at the pace they are on.
He started the bottom of the 5th. Williams with a 3-1 lead. He now trails 7-3 in the 6th. 3-2 lead, I should say. I want to shortchange Quintana on that RBI hit through the hole in the left.
And it's funny, this is the first weekend after the All-Star break, so you figure there's plenty of fresh arms out there in the Pirate bullpen, but the way Clint Hurdle is managing it, you would think he's got a bunch of guys that are down. He's going to pull the plug here on Williams.
This call to the bullpen is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time.
At Hardee's, we crunched the numbers and made breakfast simple. $4 gets you 2 breakfast favorites. Grab a delicious biscuit, a Frisco breakfast sandwich, or a new loaded hash round bowl. That's 1 plus 1 more for $4. It all adds up to, I can't read this, it's bacon. Hardee's, 'cause it tastes better.
Get down.
One mustache, one blade, in one go. One blade is all you need. Shape or shave any length. Be your best you. Innovation and you. Phillips Norelco.
To the average insurance company, small businesses look the same. But because Hiscox has spent decades insuring small businesses, it sees each of them as unique as a strand of DNA or a fingerprint, with their own unique needs and challenges. That's why America's #1 online business insurer tailors its policies to each small business's very specific needs and yours. Hiscox, business insurance experts.
Danny,
are you napping?
No, I'm busy managing my inventory.
ABC 7 is being brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency.
Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Cubs, brought to you by Ford, inviting you to visit your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. The Reds come calling.
At Wishbone C, on Dade Wrigley Field tomorrow night. Here's right-hander Richard Rodriguez.
He's been out in the pen a couple of times in this series, but this is his first appearance. 3-3 with a 363 for 43 trips. He's been a busy man. Fastball, slider, and there's a high percentage of fastballs.
Runner at first, 1 out, 1-0 on Bryant. Maikel Franco just beat the Nationals. Phillies 4, Nationals 3. He walked them off in the 9th. That's out in no man's land. It'll drop. And Baez all the way to third, as always, a great read. Had Frazier known Baez was rounding second, he may have had a play on him at third.
Frazier just in a hurry to get that ball back into the infield. Marte gets a late break on it. Big man takes a big swing. The tendency is to hesitate in the outfield. Frazier never can find it. He's thinking possible play at second, so he just spins and fires.
Rizzo with runners at the corners. 4 consecutive 1-out hits. Homer, homer, single, single. Inside, ball 1. Cubs looking to win their 4th straight in this season series. Caught on the move by Reynolds. Baez tags. He's in. 8-3. RBI for Rizzo.
Anthony continues his good day. 2 hits, 2 scored, and an RBI sac fly.
Down now, Caratini. Tied the game with his sack line out in the 5th. So Trevor Williams charged with 8 runs today and 5 1/3. Base hit left field.
Doesn't matter who's out there. Caratini's going to hit it hard today. He's all over Williams. Now off Rodriguez. More solid contact. That was what we call a cookie. Center cut, mid-thigh.
Heyward's 2-run homer gave the Cubs their 2nd lead of the day. And let's take a look at the Toyota home run cam, brought to you by Toyota, the official vehicle of the Chicago Cubs. Visit your local Toyota dealer at buyatoyota.com.
Cubs have now out-hit the Pirates 13-6. Flexing their muscles here at home. They are 31-16 here at Wrigley. It's the 4th best home record in Major League Baseball. Dodgers, Astros, Yankees. Just a little bit better than the Cubs.
Infield pop fly. Jung Ho Kang one-hands it. If the Cubs score 3 more times, and starting to pull away from the Pirates. It's 8-3 to the 7th.
Get down.
One beard, one blade, in one go. One blade is all you need. Shape or shave any length. Be your best you. Innovation and you. Phillips Norelco.
To the average insurance company, small businesses look the same. But because Hiscox has spent decades insuring small businesses, it sees each of them as unique as a strand of DNA or a fingerprint. with their own unique needs and challenges. That's why America's #1 online business insurer tailors its policies to each small business's very specific needs and yours. Hiscox, business insurance experts.
Hey, we missed you at the game last week. Is everything all right?
I just haven't been feeling like me lately.
You know I'm here for you, right?
That's a cut. Beautiful. Acting is one thing. Talking about suicide in real life is another.
In the military, you take challenges head on.
And now it's your turn to do the same for our veterans.
Be there.
Learn how you can start the conversation at BeThereForVeterans.com.
QuickBooks does it for you.
Legal's saying it only works if you're in a real car.
Who says I'm not?
Bullpen brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. And here's veteran right-hander Brandon Kinsler. Cubs lead 8-3.
Kinsler, the sinker baller, having a very nice year. 1.96 ERA. This is his 39th appearance. Quintana positioned to pick up his 7th win with his effort here this afternoon.
Ryan Dempster joins us. He will conduct the stretch today. And there he is. Is that him? Look at him right there. That's him.
Am I out of the shot?
No, you're in the shot now. Hi, Deb.
Right. Howdy, guys.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Well, thanks for filling in last Sunday.
I was just saying to JD, that paying attention to every pitch thing is really hard to do.
And it's overrated.
Yeah.
You just got to make it up if you need to.
I never did that the whole time I was playing. At least got a half inning off where I could go hide in the dugout.
Yeah, it can be. It's mentally you got to focus for 3 hours. As Frazier fouls, 1-1 the count. Fun one today. As the Cubs lead 8-3, going for the sweep.
And nice to see them coming out of the break playing like they are. It's kind of what you hope for, that recharge, and they've been awesome, man. The offense has been incredible. Pitching's been great.
2-1. You have a big off the mound event coming up here in Chicago.
Yeah, next Saturday at the Park West Theater. Off the mound, benefiting the Special Olympics Illinois. It's our second time doing this. We did it last summer. An absolute blast, and looking forward to Saturday and doing that again.
Bryant now playing left. Nomura in center, Heyward in right. Oh, I love the billboard.
Yeah, that was this morning over in the parking lot. And I guess when you're a little kid, you don't have to actually hit the target. You can just come push the button. It was fun. We were out there promoting the event and spreading the word about it. It's always a good time. Like I said, we did it last year. This year we got great guests with the likes of Jeff Garland and Jeremy Roenick. And Moises Alou will be back in town. And then, of course, the great Anthony Rizzo will be there making a fool of himself, I'm sure.
Park West, a great place to do it. Colin Moran off the bench with a base hit to right. He is aboard with 1 out. And then we'll bring up Newman, the shortstop.
So the format of this is it's kind of a talk show, an interview thing. You just kind of riff with these guys.
Yeah, like kind of that late night style. We have a great band, the Hemispheres. Open the show up, and they're the house band. They play music throughout the whole show. We got Joe Kilgallen, a local comedian who's really funny. He'll be doing some stand-up beforehand, and then just getting to show them who they are and not just what they do. And I think that's really important. Sometimes we see them out there on the field, and I know as a player being out there, we get put on a pedestal for how we play or how we perform. But really, some of these guys are equally as great for the humans that they are, and to talk about the great charity work they do or a hidden talent that they might have. That's a lot of fun to do that too.
Moran will hold at second, back-to-back singles for the Pirates. Well, we know you had a lot of fun. JD did too, and you guys as starting pitchers had a little extra time on your hands. And you have to remind people that this is a kid's game. It's supposed to be fun. It's really JD. I'll let you say it, but basically the game is fun, but it's hard too. It's really hard.
Being a baseball player is fun. It's a fun life, and there's a lot of fun around the game. But once you're out there on the field, I mean that at least for me, anyway, that wasn't a whole lot of fun. That was hard work. Occasionally you get into the zone and all that good stuff, and it's very satisfying, but it's work. It's the other stuff. It's the clubhouse, it's the road trips, it's the bus rides in the minor leagues. You know, that's where all the fun stuff is.
Yeah, it really is. It is a hard job. That's why there's not a lot of guys out there in the world that do it, and to do it for a long time, it's grueling. You have to make a lot of adjustments. You're constantly trying to execute. Sometimes you can execute and do everything you can, and somebody still hits the ball and gets a base hit. You don't get the results you want.
Well, the other part of the game, as it never gets really easy, but when you get older and you get out of the game and you talk to people who played it, the game looks easier from up here. We've discussed that before. But I remember having a conversation with Todd Helton about leading and helping the 25-year-olds when he was 37, 38. And there is something to be said for, they just have to go through it, right? And you can tell a kid like Brian Reynolds all you want about, you're going to go 1 for 30 at some point. It's just going to happen. He's got to go through it.
Yeah.
Right?
The experience.
That process.
Yeah. There's a reason they always say that. Oh, he's got experience. That's why we like him. He's got experience. Because you've been in those moments, and when you go through those moments and you have failure, you realize that you still wake up in the morning and that you're still out there playing the game, and it moves along, and you put that stuff behind you, and you just try to go out there and, you know, really just take it one pitch at a time, one game at a time, and it's really, really important. I always said that, yeah, the winning's great and the playing well is great, but you learn just as much from your failures as you do your successes, and I think that's super important.
Kessler would love a ground ball here. It was at first and second and 1 out. Missed.
I think one of the things that's overstated in the game is the idea that the veteran guys are teaching the younger guys how to play the game. I think the game teaches you once you get exposed to it. You learn more from the opposition than you do from your teammates, because they'll tell you when you made a bad pitch, when you made a bad decision, either on the mound or on the bases. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. And when you guys did the game last week, you made some great points about Greg Maddux and how he influenced you. But I think, for the most part, I think fans think that there's more of that going on than that really does. You know, I don't remember once in my career having a guy, and maybe I'm unique, to really tell me anything that made a huge difference in terms of my approach. I remember once in Montreal sitting between Nolan Ryan and Bob Knepper. I was like, you know, I was this dumb rookie, and I was like, hey man, how do you throw your curveball? And they just both started to laugh. It's serious, man.
You learn more from guys about the other stuff. I felt like how do you handle yourself with the media? How do you be accountable for your actions and be at your locker? Because you watch those guys and you watch the way they go about their routine. But you're right, a lot of that stuff, that's your coaches. Your players, your teammates, they're too worried about getting themselves ready to go out there and perform. To have to teach you is an extra task that I don't think anybody really wants.
Yep. 3-2. That deflected off Kinsler's glove, and they're going to turn it. That ball seemed to be ticketed for center field, but instead it's a 1-4-6-3 double play, and it's time for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, former Cubs pitcher Ryan Dipster. All right, Cub fans. Hey, happy 50th birthday, Jason. All right, let me hear you good and loud, all right? Let's do this, Gary. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Oh, it's root for the... If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're
Get down.
To the average insurance company, small businesses look the same. But because Hiscox has spent decades insuring small businesses, it sees each of them as unique as a strand of DNA or a fingerprint, with their own unique needs and challenges. That's why America's #1 online business insurer tailors its policies to each small business's very specific needs, and yours. Hiscox, business insurance experts.
One beard, one blade, in one go.
This call to the bullpen brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. Veteran lefty Francisco Liriano. Ball one to Robel Garcia. We'll never know if Kinsler hadn't gotten a glove on that grounder off the bat of Brian Reynolds. If it had, or would have been able to squeak into center, but that little deflection, I think, helped a bunch. Yeah, I think that's a base hit.
Yeah, you know, it changed directions a little bit. It took a little pace off, but not too much. And Baez with that big arm able to complete the double play. We've seen some very slick middle infield play here the last couple of days.
ParkwestChicago.com for ticket info on Ryan's big event on Saturday night. Garcia swings and misses for strike three.
Stat of the game is brought to you by Mattress Firm. Your budget stretches further at Mattress Firm. Highest winning percentage at home when accumulating 10 hits or more since the beginning of last year. Cubs are really good when that happens at 40-8. And that is the case here today. They've hit safely 13 times and 6 of their last 8 here at the friendly confines.
Popped up by Bodie. Bell makes the grab. 2 down. Drives of the game presented by Mercedes-Benz. The best or nothing. Back-to-back pitches. Almora pinch hit homer. Schwarber following with his 19th.
Both of those balls completely disrespected. Well, he's in the catbird seat again.
Ball 4. Here's Addison Russell. Pinch hitting for Kinsler.
Double play allows Kinsler to maintain his 0 ERA here at Wrigley Field this year.
Short lead by Albert. Bell holds him. Russell takes outside.
Mariano 35 now. Looking back in 05 with the Twins. Mostly been a starter, but decent amount of relief work in his career. Twice he has been named comeback player of the year.
In the air to right. Reynolds battling the sun. And he catches it just before it got to the turf. We go to the 8. Cubs 8, Pirates 3.
Get down.
One mustache, one blade, in one go. One blade is all you need. Shape or shave any length. Be your best you. Innovation and you. Phillips Norelco.
To the average insurance company, small businesses look the same. But because Hiscox has spent decades insuring small businesses, it sees each of them as unique as a strand of DNA or a fingerprint, with their own unique needs and challenges. That's why America's #1 online business insurer tailors its policies to each small business's very specific needs, and yours. Hiscox, business insurance experts.
Danny, are you napping?
No, I'm busy managing my inventory.
Dora, I just want you to have a good first day. If I don't talk to you, don't take it personal, okay? We're all just trying to survive. High school's a horrible nightmare.
Excuse me? I'm kind of stuck. We're on to something big, Dora.
An ancient city of gold.
This is our chance. We're gonna break some rules.
Oh, look, Dora brought a knife, everybody. We're gonna die out here.
There's no need to overreact.
It's a jungle puzzle.
Oops, that's a real crossbow.
Honey, it's a real crossbow, yep.
Dora and the Lost City of Gold.
Game is brought to you by Feldco. Right now, save big at Feldco with 2 windows for the price of 1. 866-4. Feldco, slick as it gets. 4-6-3 double play, and it's helpful when your shortstop got a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
This call to the bullpen brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. It's lefty Kyle Ryan.
Second appearance of the series. He went 2/3 scoreless on Friday. Allowed a hit, had a strikeout, 2-1, 341 for 40 appearances thus far.
Marte, Bell, and Gung do. First pitch swing. And a fly to center. Can of corn for Almora. Pirates started the second half on Friday thinking, well, if we win today, we're at the 500 mark. They were 44 and 45. They were 2.5 games out. Right now they're staring at possibly being 4 under and 5.5 games back as they leave Chicago. 5 outs to go and they trail by 5. Bell's average now under 300. He's at 299. One ball, 1 strike.
Pirates traded away some really good young prospects in the Chris Archer deal last year. I don't know what their mindset is heading towards the trade deadline. be surprising to see them do something really splashy to acquire a big arm or a big bat. They might do, make a minor deal. I don't know that they have any assets that they're looking to move to pick up prospects and free agents to be that would get a real top-notch prospect.
2-2 to Bell.
There had been some speculation in the media about their closer Vasquez. Now, that'd be a guy they could get a pretty good package for. He's really good. He's under control, and the cost is right.
Giants have opened up an 8-3 lead in the 8th inning in Milwaukee, so it's going to be a very productive weekend for the Cubs. Could add 2 games to their lead. Popped up by Bell on the infield. Russell's got it.
You're talking about this weekend. Let's take a longer view, and I'll take a look at the remaining schedules for the 3 top contenders right now in the NL Central. Obviously, there's a lot of baseball yet to be played, but the path appears to be easiest for the Cubs, with just 22 games remaining against clubs that are better than 500. You see the Brewers 36 such games, and the Cardinals 34 remaining on their schedule.
And the Cubs have 4 off days. It proved to be very beneficial to Milwaukee in the second half last year. Oh, what a play by Baez. And he gets him. A 1-hop seed off the bat of Jung-Ho Kang. Routine out for Javi.
Good, Mago.
Still 8-3 Cubs in the 8th.
At Hardee's, we crunched the numbers and made breakfast simple. $4 gets you 2 breakfast favorites. Grab a delicious biscuit, a Frisco breakfast sandwich, or a new loaded hash round bowl. That's 1 + 1 more for $4. It all adds up to, I can't read this, it's bacon. Hardee's, 'cause it tastes better. Get down.
One beard, one blade, in one go. One blade is all you need. Shape or shave any length. Be your best you. Innovation and you. Phillips Norelco.
To the average insurance company, small businesses look the same. But because Hiscox has spent decades insuring small businesses, it sees each of them is as unique as a strand of DNA or a fingerprint, with their own unique needs and challenges. That's why America's #1 online business insurer tailors its policies to each small business's very specific needs and yours. Hiscox, business insurance experts.
Hey, my name is Ethan. I work at Best Buy Store 204. Welcome to the lab. Today we're talking about the Samsung refrigerator with food showcase. With the showcase door, you get quick access to all of the items you grab on a regular basis. I like the autofill pitcher over here. Automatically fills up so I'm never out of water. And because of the little cord there, it automatically just infuses the flavor so you always get great tasting water. That's it from the lab. See you next time.
Take the latest news, weather, and video with you wherever you go this weekend. Download the ABC 7 Chicago News app today.
Here is their closer, and this call to the bullpen is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. Just trying to get Felipe Vasquez some work.
Yeah, the numbers are outstanding. 20 saves and 21 tries at 2.11 ERA, a whole bunch of strikeouts and not many walks.
Late add to the All-Star team as well.
Fastball that'll flirt with triple digits. Devastating changeup. He also has a slider and a curve. That'll make him a starter.
Right down the middle to Baez for a strike. Should get that hat, JD.
I like that hat, yeah.
You could take a hat before the game and nobody would even know it.
It's a hard travel hat. I'm going to take on the road. Picks up a good chunk of the overhead compartment.
Let's see JD at 11:30.
That is a quality lid.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Out number 1, here's Bryant.
So Vasquez signed to a 4-year deal through 2021 plus 2 club options. Average annual value $6 million. So that's why, not only is he really good, but the price is right. So on one hand, you'd say, well, why on earth would the Pirates get rid of an asset like that when he's so good and so cheap? But to the bundle of prospects you might get in return to be very tantalizing.
Yeah, and it's easy for us to make decisions for Neil Huntington, but their starting pitching just hasn't been good enough, and Tyone's not going to be back tomorrow. I think that injury really set them back this season, and I believe that they'll at least listen to offers.
Yeah, because as good as this guy is, the difference between him and who you replace him with might not be that significant. Whether it's Kyle Crick or if they think Rodriguez could take over and be their closer for a couple of seasons.
You bring up a good point. I think sometimes when you hear a team is, quote, selling, that the season's over. But I think in some cases you can sell and still actually be a player in the wild card race, right?
Yeah.
Selling doesn't mean season's over. Bryant draws the walk.
Right. I don't mean you're backing up the truck and you're reworking your roster. You find you have a need because of injury or poor performance by guys you were counting on, and well, is there a chance to address that need without weakening ourselves too much by making that move, a different part of our club.
And what's the going price for a guy like Vasquez? Maybe the Chapman deal the Cubs made, right? You might be able to acquire potentially a prospect like a Gleyber Torres. You never know. Should be fun here these next couple weeks.
Yeah, and I would argue, even though Chapman has the resume, this guy currently has more value than Aroldis did then because of his contract.
Yep.
You could see with him locked up. Well, again, it's potentially through 2023 with club options. And I don't know if there's any outs that he has or no trade language. I don't know any of that, but just assuming he doesn't. This is a guy you could see flip 2 or 3 times over the course of that contract for that very reason. We're in contention. We want him. And a year later, well, we're not in contention. Let's get. We'll get 2 great prospects for him.
Bell will step on the bag, throw to second, tag applied. The Cubs may want to look at the video, maybe not. Nope. Double play to end the inning. Here comes the 9th. It's Cubs 8, the Pirates 3.
Get down.
mustache, one blade in one go. One blade is all you need. Shape or shave any length. Be your best you. Innovation and you. Phillips Norelco.
To the average insurance company, small businesses look the same. But because Hiscox has spent decades insuring small businesses, it sees each of them as unique as a strand of DNA or a fingerprint, with their own unique needs and challenges. That's why America's #1 online business insurer tailors its policies to each small business's very specific needs and yours. Hiscox, business insurance experts.
Want to get paid faster? Send an invoice with QuickBooks.
You invoiced me?
I accept credit, debit, bank transfer.
Let's get down to business. The business of family time and downtime and you time and forgetting what time it is altogether. Modernized Comfort Inns and Suites have been refreshed because when your business is making time, our business is you. Get the lowest price guaranteed on all Choice hotels when you book.
This is Chicago Cubs baseball on ABC 7.
Heyward out into deep right center. Way back there. Gone! Drilled to deep left. It'll go! Schwarber a blast. There she goes! Tyler Chatwood in a non-save spot here in the ninth. Cubs lead by 5 runs, going for the 3-game sweep.
4-1, 440 for Tyler. 20 appearances. A couple of starts, 95 to get started with good movement to the outside corner.
Strike to Dickerson. Diaz and then Frazier for the Bucks. Two and one. Cubs have used Craig Kimbrell once this weekend. That was on Friday. He got his 3rd save, went 1-2-3. Liner to left, little leap and a grab by Bryant. Late adjustment to make the play. Panic by Chris. He's 6'5", and he could go up and get it. Diaz with 1 out. One on Diaz. Ground ball. That's Russell for the 2nd out.
A nice play, a little sneaky hop there at the end. Ball was pretty well struck by Diaz.
Boy, defensively, You have to really like this look. Rizzo, Russell, Baez, Bodie, and then the outfield, Bryant left, Morris center, Heyward right. Looking at some of the analytics, the Cubs actually look better on paper than they did in the first half. And they seem to make some routine mistakes with the glove, but this weekend very good.
Yeah, they still, you know, they got guys with all kinds of range and make a lot of plays. They have made a lot of mistakes this year relative to previous seasons, but it's still a good, solid defensive ball club. Certainly the potential to be one.
Frazier into the corner. That is fair. And it'll be a double.
Been a constant theme today. Elevated pitches, shot the other way effectively. Kudos to us for not saying down goes Frazier once this weekend.
Right. Aren't we great?
Yeah.
1-0 on Osuna.
We'll make adjustments.
This is where Osuna has done his best work as a pinch hitter. Kimbrel is stirring. And now starting to throw just in case. Three and one.
It's one of the talents of a veteran reliever, the knack of knowing how hard you need to go, how soon out there, the rhythm of the game, you know what's going out on the field, and when that manager is likely to make the move, because you don't want to burn yourself out and all the ups and downs you have over the course of the season, the times you get up but don't get into a ball game. It's no fun at all. A lot of times the call will go down to the pen and just say, hey, get him going, but easy. These things get a little chaotic in a hurry, then at least he's got a little jump start.
Past the mound, but Russell's there. Cubs win. Cubs sweep. 8-3 the final score today. Brewers trailing late. Cardinals won. Reds are trailing. I guess most importantly, you deal with what's in front of you. The Cubs started the weekend 2.5 ahead of Pittsburgh. The Pirates are now 5.5 out.
Yeah, and the Pirates obviously flexing their muscles in Pittsburgh last week, winning 3 out of 4. The Cubs managed to just win the last game of that series, but they come out strong here, sweeping this weekend set. And a lot of hitting yesterday, especially early. 13 hits today. Bunch of guys having multi-hit games. They go deep 3 times. All in support of Jose Quintana, who, like Darvish and Lester, who preceded him this weekend, with a solid effort on the mound.
Q is our player of the game, brought to you by your local Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers.
Yeah, and like John Lester yesterday, helping himself not only on the mound but at the plate, and that's a big surprise because Q hasn't done much. But the pitching was solid. He had 1 bad inning, and he had some tough luck in that frame as well. Good aggressive tone early, and here's the knock, the RBI single by an 0-30 hitter.
Jesse Rogers is with us today, and he's on the field with Chris Bryant.
All right, guys, thank you. What an opening series for the second half. Chris, I guess that All-Star break did give you guys the rest that you needed.
Yeah, it's a great way to start. 3-day games off the bat, too. I mean, we came out ready to play. It's good to see, and everybody looked good. I mean, it's a good start.
You were on base 3 times today, but we saw some other guys go deep, including Jason Heyward. What a series for him on the bases, in right field, and, of course, at the plate as well. Is this peak Jason Heyward right now?
Yeah, I think it's the best I've seen him. I mean, he's just so relaxed up there, the field, at the plate, just really good at bats. And I think him being locked in is helping all of us. I mean, really good at bats 1 through 9.
Talk about this series and the fans and the beautiful weather. I mean, this really is Cubs baseball, and I think, you know, people have been waiting for it. A little bit of a rough end of the first half, but you come out strong here.
Yeah, it feels really good. I mean, you can't beat the summers here, especially when we're winning, so hopefully we can keep it up.
Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome.
Cubs sweep the Pirates. Back to you, Len.
Jesse, thank you. And the Cubs might have a 2.5 game lead, depending on how it ends up in Milwaukee. And the W flags flying here at the friendly confines. We will wrap things up from Wrigley Field after this.